Hello, and welcome back to Creative Cage TV. This is Jordan Cage. Gonna do a quick tutorial here. Hello, and welcome back to Creative Cage TV. We're gonna do a quick tutorial here to talk about how to remove the outside of the paper backdrop. So we use seamless paper for most of our shoots. And as you can see, it's only 9 foot long. So we did a shoot here with three lovely ladies. But people ask all the time, how do we get rid of all of this extra stuff? Also, if you look here, there's stains on the paper. We're going to go ahead and tighten that up as well. First thing we're going to do, go on over into Photoshop. Alright, as always, the first thing you want to do anytime you're starting a photo project is duplicate your layer. So we're going to Control J that. Alright, now we're going to show you two different ways to do this. The first way is usually the simplest and easy, but it's not always possible. So if you look at all of this space here, as well as here, it's pretty straightforward. There's nothing, there's no patterns or anything. So what that allows you to do is use your square marquee tool and select the area that's both within your backdrop and not including any of the subject or any of the outside stuff. You're going to duplicate that, which is Control J. It puts it on a separate layer. Then you're going to hit Control T, which is free transform, and then you're just going to stretch it. And just like that. Alright, you're going to attempt to do the same thing on the other side. As you see, there's a cord here. Sometimes it doesn't always work. You want to try to get as big a piece as possible. Sometimes it takes a couple shots. As you can see in that one, I included her toe. So we're going to go over just a little bit. See if we got rid of it. And then keep it in there. Looks like we're going to be right about there. Make sure you're on the original layer. Once again, Control J. Puts it on a separate layer. Control T. Activates free transform and stretch. It's just that simple. Now, what you're going to do is a stamp visible layer, and that'll take everything that you've done real quick and put it all on one layer. So you're going to go Control Alt Shift, the letter E as an elephant, puts it all on one layer. Slide it to the top, and you're all set. You've gotten rid of all that extra background space. If you go there, you can go just like that. Easy peasy. Alright, another quick way. Let's get rid of that. I'll toss all of this into a folder. Alright, once again, duplicate the layer. Another thing you can do is a little bit more difficult, but it sometimes gives you more control if you're really good with the paintbrush on here. So what you want to do is use the quick selection tool. Make sure your auto enhance is on, and you just want to get the edge of everybody, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to make sure that you got everything you need, because you're going to paint in the green. Alright, you don't really need to grab any of her because she's there in the middle. So what you want to do now is refine edge, soften what you got a little bit. So we're going to increase the smooth to about 4. Make sure you hit decontaminate colors. Hit OK. It's going to put everything you just selected onto another layer. What you're going to then is make sure this is back turned on, because anytime you go into refine edge, once you decontaminate the layer, it turns off that background layer. So you turn that back on, then you want to put a blank layer in between it. And then you want to grab a paintbrush. So the shortcut for that is going to be the letter B, or you can go over here and grab it. You want to make sure you have a fairly soft brush, and then you want to select the background color that you're going to be coloring in. So you're going to hold Alt, the eyedropper is going to appear. You're going to click, it's going to give you that green. Now, because you've already put the edge of each subject on a different layer, you can actually paint over that subject. Okay? Make sure your opacity is up to 100, and so is your flow. you can actually paint over your subject. Okay, see how only thing left out is those things that were highlighted. You're gonna go control Z to go back. All right, so we're just gonna color in the edges. Okay, same thing here. It's a little darker over here, so you're gonna grab close to the subject and then just color in the edge. Okay, grab down here, get rid of the rest of it. All right. Then once again, you Control Shift Alt the letter E, puts it all on one layer, and there you have it. All right. After you add it all to the other layer, what you can do is come to the patch tool. There's a little line here. Okay. Now, the reason you do it this way is a little different. So, if you can see, it's a lot more light over here than it is over there. And that's also true in the original picture. It's brighter on this side. But when you paint it in, it allows you to be able, let's see here. If I wanted to paint it in, I could actually erase this side. Okay. Actually could erase this side. Then I can grab the color from this side. Go back into my brush, grab the color from this side, select, and then I could actually come in and paint this side of that color. Okay? Gives me way more control. Then I just go back into my eraser tool and do a little bit of cleanup. Okay? And you can play with it. What you want to do is make a smaller brush. See, but the color is so much off from everything you highlighted, you can just adjust your highlights. Okay? But that's one way of doing it. I personally, if I have the room to do the bar and spread, I always do that. Okay? So, there's two different ways that you can paint in the backdrop. We have our final here. It looks completely different. Now, once you do the bar and spread and you want to smooth out this floor, whichever method you have, you still want to clean up the little areas on the floor. Okay? You want to go into Filter, Noise, Median. And you want to set that between 50 and 70. It was already set to 60 from a previous image, and you can see if you look at the backdrop, it has smoothed out. Okay? You can actually go a little bit less and see how that looks. Keep some of the detail. Okay? Now what you want to do is create a layer mask. Invert that layer mask with Control I. Grab your brush tool again. Now what you want to do is that you have this open, that you have your layer mask inverted. You want to grab your brush tool again, the B. You want to make sure that the layer mask is actually selected. And then that'll allow you to paint in this area. So with this, you actually want to use a harder brush. So we're going to go to about 75. And you want to make sure you're painting with white. Okay? And that'll allow you to come in here and clean this up. Let's take things easy. Don't hesitate to change your brush size if you need to. Get in as close as you can to make things smooth out. All right. All right. Floor is cleaned up. Now we can show you full before and after. From beauty to beyond beautiful. I'm Jordan Cage. Thanks for watching Creative Cage TV. Have a great day.